Hi, babies. How are y'all? I hope y'all are good. I'm owning it. I'm owning that phrase, the beginning. I'm just going to be saying that. And y'all better be happy about it because it welcomes the video, welcomes the energy. Okay, so today we're talking about fear in the 3D and breaking it down. So, if the emotion is fear, then know there's a way to internalize it and break it down as an idea or the intangible thing it is. And notice I didn't just say approach or perceive it, I said internalize it. Because as humans, we don't just think in fear constructs, we feel them. So, one of the ways we're going to rise above fear is by being able to feel differently when it presents. Because when fear presents to us at lower levels, we know how to quickly recognize and diminish it without too much emotional work. And that's usually because we've already experienced all those low levels of fear in our early experiences. So we can just internalize it as something we've overcome in the past, right? Like, I handled that, I did that, I know what that looks like. But what if you haven't overcome where fear presents in a new way or at higher levels? Let's take fear of the unknown when you're co creating or manifesting something new. Because in these scenarios, especially in these scenarios, I've found fear based feelings will betray us long before where we, conscious of the truth, ever would. And, this includes those protective mechanisms within learned behaviors and feelings that I've shared from childhood trauma. So, when you become aware that fear is triggering from the 3D, we're going to feel first through it, okay? With a phrase of what is making me feel small or shrinking me right now. Because in cases where it feels like you can't think through the fear, this will help you shift into presence emotionally, having identified that this has to be something outside of you, shifting you from your natural state. And then this is where we have the space to process it logically. Because neuroscience says our nervous system experiences fear first and then we perceive it emotionally. But I think for the fastest shift, it's worth starting at how we feel, since that's what we can consciously identify at the time. So once you do identify something is making you feel constricted and you determine its fear, which obviously this is all happening like as a quick process and all at once, it's then we can internalize it as a possibility of an outcome we're fearing. If we do that, it'll break it down from the feeling like there's something going on in the present to now something potential, something possible but not present. And you can do something with possibility, because within possibility, that means it's not over. So, knowing, feeling, and internalizing that it's not present, meaning it's not over, will make it easier to calm your nervous system, right? Okay. So now that we're feeling better, we're knowing it's just fear from a possibility of an outcome through however fear is taking its form, whether that's through learned behaviors, secondary feelings, or other protective coping mechanisms coming into view. I want you to say out loud, even, that it's not a fact to your capabilities, your worth, or where you're headed in the new reality, because that separates the truth from what we know is the illusion. So sit in that reality that something's making me feel scared, but it's just a possibility. And I know I can do something with possibility. I can take action with steps in the physical and using the spiritual to transmute or even eradicate the outcome altogether. So, this is important because everyone has their own soul map of ascension, meaning paths for rising above fear, and they require different degrees of detachment. So, when you awaken to truths of spiritual or quantum manifestation, being able to find new ways to internalize fear differently becomes essential for holding remembrance of being a creator on whichever plane you've signed up for. Okay, now, babies, go out and practice breaking fear down in the 3D like the idea it is. So when it comes up and tries to shrink you, you remember you can treat it like the possibility and not your present. All right. I love y'all. Please be sure to like, comment, and share this video. And let me know at the bottom. Let me know in the comments how you guys are practicing breaking down that fear. And I will see you in the next video. Mwah.